I think I've discovered why Israel wins all its wars against the Muslims. And if you're a Muslim, you probably won't like this, but it comes from the very Quran that you're supposed to believe in, or be far astray and dragged off into hellfire if you don't believe, due to Quran 4, 136, 150, 151, 152, 285, and 40 through 70 through 72, that tells you, a Muslim, to believe in all the books of Allah, and that would not only include the Bible, but the Quran. And the reason why you're probably not going to like this is because I'm going to read to you the scriptures from the Quran that seems to prove why Israel keeps on winning these wars against Muslims and why they will continue. Okay, this is Quran 17:104, Pickthall version. And we, that's Allah, even Allah likes to call himself we, even though shirk is the worst of sins, said unto the children of Israel after him, dwell in the land, that's the promised land, that the Muslims are trying to take from the Jews. But when the promise of the hereafter cometh to pass, we shall bring you, the Jews, as a crowd gathered out of various nations. You know, and that happened in 1948. You know, I think this is why Israel wins all its wars against the Muslims. Now, this is a Shakir version of the Quran. And we, Allah, said to the Israelites after him, dwell in the land, that's the promised land. It's talking to the Jews, the Israelites. And when the promises of the next life shall come to pass, we will bring you both together in judgment. Yusuf Ali. Of course, Shakir is the one that mentions judgment, but Pickthall and Shakir don't. But here's the Yusuf Ali version. And we, that's Allah, even though, you know, shirk is unforgivable. And we, that's Allah, saying, thereafter to the children of Israel, dwell securely in the land of promise. That's the promised land. But when the second of the warning came to pass, we gathered you, Jews, Israelis, together in a mingled crowd. So, in other words, the Jews are supposed to be in the promised land up until the day of resurrection, and until the day of judgment, I guess you could say. Now, Quran 5:20, Pickthall version. And remember, when Moses said unto his people, the Jews, O my people, remember Allah's favor unto you, how he placed among you prophets, and he made you kings, and he gave you that which he gave not to any other of his creation. And by the way, what was it that he gave to the Jews? Well, this is Quran 5:21 says, O my people, go into the land, into the holy land, that's the promised land. And the Jews are there right now, which Allah hath ordained for you. See, it's ordained. That's why the missiles, every time the Muslims try to shoot missiles at Israel, they fail because Allah is stopping them, or the Quran is wrong. You know what I mean? That's why when they shoot missiles, they land on the Muslims themselves. It's because it would go against the Quran right here. That's why. So, O my people, go into the land of promise, which Allah hath ordained for you. That's to the Jews. Turn not in flight, for surely ye turn back as losers. In other words, so Israel, the Jews, you better stay in the land or you're going to be losers. So they have to stay there. And this is the Shakir version. O my people, enter the land, enter the Holy Land, which is the Jews, which is Israel right now, which Allah hath prescribed for you. Not for the Muslims, but for the Jews. That's why Israel keeps on winning its wars. Because if they didn't, then the Quran would be wrong. You know what I mean? It's prescribed for you, and turn not on your backs for them. For then you will turn back losers. So in other words, they have to win these wars. They have to stay in the land, or they'd be losers. You know what I mean? And that's why I think that's why the Muslims keep on losing their wars against Israel, because Allah wants the Jews to be there. Either that or the Quran is wrong, you know. And you know something? The Quran says it confirms the book that went before it, the script before scripts that went before it. And there was the Bible, and the Bible is all about giving the land to the Jews, you know. Okay, Yusuf Ali. Yeah, okay, now, yeah, Yusuf Ali. Oh, my people, enter the land. That's talking about the Jews. Because if you go back a little further back, this is back in 521, it says, in Yusuf Ali, remember Moses said to his people, oh, my people, call in remembrance the favor of Allah unto you, when he produced prophets among you, made you kings, and gave what he hath not given to any other among the peoples. That means that would include the Muslims. O my people, enter the holy land which Allah hath assigned unto you, and turn back not ignominiously, for then you shall be overthrown to your own ruin. So in other words, the Jews have to stay there or to be overthrown for their own ruin. And the Jews are there now, and that's why they're winning all the wars, even against the Muslims, because if the Muslims won, this part of the Quran be false. That's why Israel has an Iron Dome. That's why the Jews always win their wars against the Muslims, because this part of the Quran be false. So I thought I'd let you know that. Bye. Bye. Oh, it's still recording. Oh, sorry. Okay. Bye.